Why do you find yourself constantly chasing after someone who seems just out of reach? You text first, you plan the dates, you put in all the effort while she barely responds with the same energy. But here's the thing that's going to shock you. The reason she's not chasing you back has nothing to do with your looks, your money, or even how much you like her. It's because of 5 critical mistakes you're making that actually push her away. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to reverse this dynamic. But I need to warn you about something first. Most guys who learn these strategies use them completely wrong and end up sabotaging themselves even worse than before. So pay attention to every word, because missing even one piece of this puzzle will make everything else useless. Here's what's really happening when you chase. You've been conditioned to believe that showing interest means pursuing, that proving your worth requires constant effort. But this approach triggers something in her brain that kills attraction instantly. Think about it. When something is always available, always eager, always there whenever you want it, how much do you truly appreciate it? You don't. But there's a deeper problem happening here that most guys never realize. By chasing, you've accidentally communicated that she's the prize and you're the contestant. You've positioned yourself as someone who needs her validation rather than someone who brings value to her life. And this creates a psychological dynamic that's almost impossible to reverse. Almost. The first way to flip this script is to become genuinely busy with your own life. But here's where most guys mess this up completely. They think being busy means ignoring her texts for hours just to seem unavailable. That's not busy, that's playing games, and she'll see right through it. Real unavailability comes from actually building something meaningful. When you're constantly available to text back immediately, to drop everything for her, to rearrange your schedule around her availability, you're sending a message that nothing in your life matters more than her attention. That's not attractive, it's concerning. But here's the part that's going to save you from making the same mistake everyone else makes. You need to invest in yourself with the same intensity you've been investing in her. Pick up that hobby you've been putting off. Focus on your career goals. Spend time with friends you've been neglecting. Because when your life becomes genuinely full and interesting, something powerful happens that most guys never experience. First, you naturally become less available, which creates space for her to miss you. Second, you become more attractive because you're actively becoming a better version of yourself. But there's a third thing that happens that's even more important, and it connects to the next strategy. The second way is to stop initiating all the conversations. This one is painful because it requires you to sit with uncertainty. You're used to being the one who reaches out first, who keeps the conversation going, who prevents the silence from stretching too long. But by always initiating, you've trained her to be passive in your dynamic. Here's the strategy that changes everything. When she texts you, engage meaningfully, but let her be the one to reach out next time. If she doesn't, that tells you something crucial about her level of interest. If she does, you've created something most guys never create. A moment where she had to think about you, wonder what you're doing, and make the choice to connect. But there's a critical mistake you need to avoid here. This doesn't mean you never initiate. It means you create balance. And this balance is what sets up the third strategy perfectly. The third way is to have standards and actually enforce them. You've been so focused on getting her to like you that you've forgotten to evaluate whether you actually like her beyond her physical appearance. This is backwards, and it's costing you everything. Attraction isn't about convincing someone you're worthy of them. It's about two people recognizing mutual value in each other. Start paying attention to how she treats you. Does she respect your time? Does she put effort into your conversations? Does she seem genuinely interested in getting to know you as a person? If the answer is no, then stop trying to win her over. Your attention is valuable, and it should go to people who appreciate it. But here's the part that connects everything together and makes the fourth strategy inevitable. When you have standards and you're willing to walk away from situations that don't meet them, you automatically become more attractive. People can sense when someone has options and self-respect. They can also sense when someone is desperate and will accept any treatment just to maintain connection. This leads us to the fourth way, which is the most counterintuitive of all. Stop being so available emotionally. You've probably positioned yourself as her emotional support system, the person she vents to about her problems, the shoulder she cries on about other guys. While it might feel good to be trusted with her problems, this dynamic is relationship poison if your goal is romantic attraction. Being someone's emotional dumping ground without reciprocal romantic interest puts you firmly in the friend zone. You've become useful to her, but not attractive. But here's what most guys don't understand about this strategy. It's not about being cold or uncaring, it's about being selective. When she starts complaining about other guys she's dating, change the subject or politely disengage. You're not required to help her process her romantic life with other people. Your emotional energy is valuable, and it should be invested in people who are investing in you romantically. But this only works if you understand the fifth and most important strategy. The fifth way is to develop genuine confidence that isn't dependent on her validation. This is the foundation that makes everything else possible. You were chasing in the first place because you were seeking external validation to feel good about yourself. But confidence that comes from external sources is fragile and temporary. Real confidence comes from knowing your own worth regardless of how others respond to you. It comes from having a clear sense of your values, your goals, and your standards. When you have genuine confidence, you stop needing her to like you to feel good about yourself. This shift changes everything because it transforms your entire approach to interactions. Instead of trying to impress her or win her approval, you're simply being yourself and seeing if there's mutual compatibility. But here's what happens when you implement these changes, and this is the part most guys never stick around long enough to see. Initially, she might not notice. She's used to you being available, eager, and accommodating. But as you become genuinely busy, less available, and more selective with your attention, she starts to notice the difference. She might even test you at first, seeing if you'll go back to your old patterns of chasing. This is where most guys fail. They get scared and revert to their old behavior. Don't. Stay consistent with your new approach. Over time, if she has genuine interest in you, she'll start to put in more effort, she'll initiate conversations, she'll make plans, she'll pursue you because you've created the space for that pursuit to happen. And if she doesn't, then you've learned something valuable about her level of interest, and you can redirect your energy towards someone who will appreciate and reciprocate your efforts. The goal isn't to manipulate someone into wanting you. The goal is to create authentic attraction based on mutual interest and effort. When you stop chasing and start building a life worth being part of, you naturally become someone worth pursuing. But remember, all of these strategies are completely worthless if you implement them as tricks or games. They only work when they come from a genuine place of self-respect and personal growth. Stop chasing, start building. The right person will notice the difference.